Okay. I realize I actually haven't shown my models on YouTube. So I've lined them all up in the order I painted them to show you how I've improved over time. I have here an one of the old original warriors from like 3rd edition. I did not paint this guy in the intention to use him in 10th. I was going to use him as a Tyranid Prime from like 9th and 8th. But times changed, I guess. He's currently leading a squad of ranged warriors. And he is not remotely what you would expect to see on a table nowadays. I also painted him with, we're going to say non-standard paints. He was not painted with, like, the Games Workshop stuff. I got that access to that afterwards. Can I get some light on that stinger? It's brown. It isn't even purple. Ugh. Yikes. Oh, next up's the Lictor, who just lost his magnet to the top of the freezer here. My first passable job. Not like super in detail or anything. I did have fun with the rib cage though. I do enjoy doing those. So this guy was done with actual Citadel paints and stuff, not just random acrylics. Used plenty of Nuln Oil, got some Guilliman blue for his tentacles, which is a theme I've tried to keep. Xerius purple, Warpstone glow. Which brown do I use? Mornfang. That's the ticket. So, you know, I didn't actually do his base. Because he's not on the right size of base compared to what Lictors are now on. I think he's on a 32 instead of a 40. Because I got that guy from like an individual blister of Lictor, not like an actual box. Alright. I currently have them on the freezer, like in order of what I painted. Starting with that back corner, so I have to pull these guys a little closer. A little fleet of my termagaunts. They got flesh borers, because I was literally given these pre-assembled. From one of my buddies, like, I don't fucking play Tyranids, just have these. The annoying part is I definitely own like 40, 50 termagaunts, and I've only painted 15. Because I've got the 10 here that I received. And in the back here, because I wanted to play 20, I've got some of my Termagaunt Devourer ones. Little bits of terrain effort and basing effort. Not much, but these guys are slightly higher quality because painted them afterwards, and I've been there's some white on him. So these guys have got a problem of they chip a little bit because the primer I used on them in like size 2 font on the rattle can had it hidden that it was a top coat primer, which should be illegal. You shouldn't be allowed to make that shit. Because you know what nothing wants to stick to? Top coats. It's a primer. It's supposed to go before other things. Why would you make it so that I can't fucking paint on top of it without it wanting to chip all the time? So these guys have that problem. These 4 specifically. Before I realized what was going on, and the other ones I'm working on to finish the squad do not have that problem. I currently have, like I said, 15 painted. But for me to start playing, I had to borrow some Tyranids models from my buddy. I've painted the actual equivalents for my army, so I don't have anything borrowed except for 5 termagaunts at this point. And I'm almost done another one, so we're almost down to 4. One of the other early paint jobs I did is my metal pyrovore. Man, this thing's hideous. I love him. I still hadn't locked in what I wanted my color schemes to be. So I'm using like that awful black gloss. It's like Druchii Violet, I believe. Which has its uses. But not for fucking what I'm using it for. That's just not good. Ugh. This guy needs to be stripped down and redone, because I also didn't prime him correctly. Or basically at all. He's led a rough life. He's also, compared to the current ones, yeah, a bit of an issue there. I do have a little cluster of spore mines that I worked on, because I wasn't sure, when I started painting, it was for a Crusade army, where I was going to field 3 biovores in a squad, because I was planning to play with 9th edition rules when I made my army. Currently in 10th edition, a biovore squad, if they want to spawn spore mines, spawns 1 per biovore in the squad, so you would launch 3 mines if you used your 3 biovores to spawn spore mines in a unit. In 9th edition, they each spawned D3, so you'd get somewhere between 3 and 9 every time you'd send a volley out. I actually painted spore mines, because I intended to be dropping them on the board. And instead I just have a battery of fucking indirect fire that blows up infantry, because all their weapons have blast. Next up are my pair of warriors that go with the older fella here. Again, I have a lot of fun with the rib cages. I don't know why I do this. Try and get the green in, keep the brown in the crevices. Try and add a little bit of texture to their carapace. And again, these are the older warriors that were hybrid. They weren't intended to be warriors with melee weapons versus ranged weapons. And I had fun with them. My color scheme was intended to be for Gorgon. So you can tell that there's a brown and a green. Gorgon Splinter was my goal. Because my plans for 9th was going to be playing Gorgon with one of the hyper adaptations instead of going full Gorgon. Okay, next up in the sequence of what I painted, let's get my buddy here, my Hive Tyrant. Used some blue horror, which is normally an edge paint, to draw some faint lines that I went over with Ethermatic to show it's technically a force weapon, because it's a psychic weapon. Got his lash whip, his heavy venom cannon. Did my best to put orange eyes specifically on my synapse creatures and give other creatures yellow or purple, depending on if they're like smaller beasts or more intelligent ones. You know, just little things. Put his adrenal glands up top there. Sadly, they don't even get those this edition. Man. Talking about stuff, and I just I miss having all of the biomorphs. Alright. And now the winged Hive Tyrants. The Flyrant. Just set this down for a second so I can get a good grip on him. There we go. I can actually hold him for a minute here. Suited him up with a barbed strangler, or stranglethorn cannon in this case. Had a lot of fun with his wings. I believe those are a gray seer with a moot green and striking scorpions. Might have been striking scorpions. It's that or the Necron one. Layering it on just a little bit extra to go from that light yellow green up into the actual more vibrant green. The wings, honestly, were my favorite part of anything I've done, I think. I'm looking forward to eventually getting to my parasite of mortrex so I can try them again. He also has his little adrenal glands. This is not me buying a spare torso from Etsy, because I didn't find out about those till after. Also, the Hive Tyrant box is just like the best value box our army has. Like, it and the Tyrannofex boxes are ridiculously priced compared to their points value. It's so good. Although our Hive Tyrants and Swarmlord did take a hit on not this data slate that just came out, the one before, for points, so they're a lot cheaper now. Like, they all dropped like 30 or 40. Because they nerfed their army rule. Because if Space Marines can't have it, why could Tyranids have it? But even so, it's like $60 Canadian to get one of these, a box for this, and it makes either a Walkrent, a Flyrant, or a Swarmlord. And the cheapest of those things, point-wise, is I think like 170. So we're looking at $3 to $4 per point, which is fucking incredible compared to something like this monstrosity. And if you want to put one on the table for a Biovore, then you're paying like $65, $70 Canadian. And it's 50 points. If you want to put 3 on the table, it's 35 points each. Same with the alternate thing you can make in the box, the pyrovore. How in the goddamn are you going to make me pay 50 cents a point for a cool mass model like this? That's just cruel. And you notice that there's 3 legs not on the ground and 3 legs on the ground. That's normally how you tell which one you have, be it Biovore or Pyrovore. And if we go to the other one, I just needed it to be usable for play. I didn't give it its wash, and I didn't finish the last 3 legs. I need to get back to that at some point. Once I've finished up all those termagaunts, so I'm no longer using anything borrowed, which I am incredibly lazy on, and I keep painting other things. I really do need to finish those. Then I will come back, finish him up, and then I will start on more models I want to do. And now the Tyrannofex that's jumped in and out of frame. Look at this guy. He bleeds off of his fucking base in every direction. I don't know who decided that this was the size of base he gets, but they were wrong. I spent like a full month on this guy. This guy, he was all of like last October. All of last October went into this guy. Of course, it's September now. And what have I painted since? Don't ask. You'll see it, but don't think too hard about it. I freaking love this model. It's so fucking cool. So I'm not the best at painting, obviously. It ain't my skill set. I'm learning it as I go, fighting for my life on it. But there's a couple things that drive me up the wall when I see painting. And one of them is when there's a bunch of white, like that just didn't get covered from someone's primer. That just, oh, it really boils my piss looking at it. These are Lictors 2 and 3. I got around to them. For a bit there, I was using some borrowed VRLs as my Lictors. Unlike the first one I did back there, who's an older sculpt. These are the newer sculpt with the proper sized base. Got my two buddies. Painted them up over like a period of maybe a week, 2 weeks. Compared to the month I spent on him, they're much smaller, but they do still take a lot of effort. Because I can't assemble a model then paint it, because Tyranids just doesn't fucking work like that, man. Space Marines, yeah, just put everything together except the arms and the gun, paint the body, then slap those on and paint them too. No, Tyranids have got way too much shit. 1,000 tiny bits, a bunch of carapace right up close to arms that you can see but can't reach. Oh, just thinking about it gives me anxiety, because, like I said, all those fucking termagaunts back there, they came pre-assembled to me. They were also on horrible bases. It was the worst. I had to cut them off of their bases and get them new ones. Like, literally just took some fucking... I took my, the cutters I used to use for, taking stuff off of, sprue. I just cut off the bases so I could have them be, like, individual, and I got more termagaunt bases. I went and found more. Specifically so that I could then base them. Because those things were horrid to try and paint. Oh, and here's what I did all last March. I had to go out and get a rock. 2 tactical rocks that I could glue and cement in place. That way this thing could have something it could lean on and be attached to for stability. Because this thing is fucking massive. I don't know if you know how big this thing is. This thing's almost a foot tall. It's absurd. It's like 11 inches tall. From, like, base to crown. Mortarian grime and stuff used over top of some of my basing with a water and glue slurry. Helped me get the pebble look down at the bottom there. Like this thing's floating through a quarry. Also helped secure the feet to the ground. So much had to be done to make this thing stable. Also, it's impossible to fucking store. Like, I have a big tub for this thing, and I can't put the lid on, like, firmly, because it's too big. God bless it. I love this thing. It looks so cool from the sides, from above. Normally, I think it recommends to have the, like, the chitinous sheets that's like air brakes closed when you're going to have it in the upright position. But it's going to be as tall. I figured might as well make it fucking neat. I even went through the effort of painting in on the undersides there, even though I'm never going to see it in actual gameplay. What I should have... The only thing I'm looking at it and gone, I should have done that too, is inside the barrels of the bioweapons. I should have made those, like, have little dark circles or something. Maybe drilled them out just a bit. Because we do have a small drill now that I have used to help carry with models, but I haven't done anything for my own. I've had to drill in some holes for magnets so she can magnetize some orky stuff. And some of my most recent guys. Hive Guard. I have no idea if my low quality camera is going to be able to get the effects that I've got on these guys properly translated. I was trying to get a view myself to see what I was talking about there. And I might have pulled him out of frame for a bit. And this guy's the one who's probably got the most of it. The, like, the lines trying to show, like, like his chitinous carapace having a grain. But like I said, I don't know if my camera's even good enough to properly get that across. Yeah, got me some spike cannon. Or whatever the indirect fire one is. Got those for him. I am a sucker for indirect fire. And overwatching on force. Oh, baby. And then the 15th termagaunt. I haven't gone through to his base yet, but we'll get back to him. Like, I want to add bits to the Hive Guard, Lictor bases, and once I've got all the 20 termagaunts done, I'll go back through and make sure that they're looking good for bases. So yeah, the main things I gotta do right now is finish up number 16, which I just need to work on his guns, and then he'll be done. His gun arm and his gun support arm. So that'll be number 16 done for him. And get those 4. Finish up the pyrovore of attached some legs and give him a wash. And then I'll need to do probably the 3rd pyrovore. I might do it as a pyrovore and no one can tell the difference. I'll be able to put them beside each other. It'll be fine. And then I've still got plenty of shit to paint. I've got 2 exocrines I need to work on. I've got another tyrannofex. I've got oh boy, I've got a lot. Like, I've got another 20 or 30 termagaunts that I'll get to eventually. But yeah, another tyrannofex, another 3 of those guys. I've got 6 melee warriors need to work on with a winged prime, 2 exocrines, like I said, or an exocrine and a haruspex. Probably going to be 2 exocrines. Oh, there's so much in that room to do. Some raveners. I don't know if I have 5 now. I think I just have 3 or 4 is the problem, though. And they've moved the min size to 5. So I can't even use those until I get more again. Oh, Lord help me. But the main point is, I've got enough to use 3 pyrovores in the squad right now, even if one of them's not on the right base. I've got my 3 lictors, and that makes me happy. I've got my hive tyrants, that makes me happy. And I'm gonna have a 2nd tyrannofex. And oh baby, that makes me happy. God, I love these models. And I've still got like 1,500 points of Chaos Demons I haven't touched. Oh, I have a lot of painting to do, and I just never paint enough. Well, anyway, that's my splinter fleet for Gorgon with the stuff I've done for it. Oh, the light's coming through nicely again right now. Can we get the look of it? Can we see it? If I get right up close and get some light on it, you might be able to see the faint greens I have working in at the base as the color bleeds from green to purple there. I put a good amount of effort into that one, and I think it's I think the purple bleeding into the green and the green bleeding into the purple there actually turned out pretty nicely. Ooh, this side might be much more visible. Man, I love these models. Hi, everybody. Well, that's everything I had to say. Have a good one.